Well, hello readers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua. Boy oh boy, where do I get started with this book? Okay, first of all, the title is completely misleading. By the way, I don't have the physical copy, I read it as an ebook, which I'm kind of thankful that I didn't get the book. Ooh, that sounds bad already. So let's get into what is this book about. Basically, this is a non-fiction. Let's start with that. This is a non-fiction, and this is about the author, Joshua. He's telling his story of how he got to be a mental athlete. That's the way that he is calling all of these people who basically have these mental competitions, and they can do really incredible stuff. Like they can memorize about like 500, no, like 5,000. I cannot even remember the 5,000 number. Like, come on, 5,000 numbers of pi. They can remember a couple of deck cards. They can remember the order exactly in like 5 minutes, and they got it. I mean, they do incredible stuff with their memory. They have this really amazing ability, it seems, to retain a lot of information. And we come to understand that anyone can do this. He goes into this journey over a year to get all of these abilities and go into a competition, and he ends up being really good. Now, that is a fantastic idea, right? I love this. He talks a lot of the importance of, using your memory instead of relying in other things. Like now you don't even know your own phone number, you have it on your phone and you call everyone. Who knows, right? All of this information. If you are interested in that, if you're interested in the science part of it, like what parts of the brain work how, and all of the science sort of discoveries that have been made about memory, if you're interested in that, this is definitely the book for you. Also, he goes into a little bit of history, so he's talking about that before books were not printed, so the way that you could tell the information to other people was by memory. You have to memorize the book completely and talk it out to someone else, and that someone else would have to memorize it. So, after we started printing books, memory was not as necessary, and the amount of things that we have to recall got smaller and smaller. So that is a part of the book. Obviously, he goes narrating through his journey of how he got there. Now, this is the thing that really bothered me about this book. He was supposed to talk about all of these techniques, I thought that he was going to go into detail telling how he did it over a year, the training that he had to go through. Like, I did this every single day to get my memory to this point, or this is the technique that you should go and learn if you want to do this. I thought that we were as readers going to get that information, and we did not. And that was the part where I was really frustrated. I am still kind of really angry and frustrated about this, because if you're going to make a book about this, and if you are going to tell your story, I think that you should tell this information. If you didn't want people to know how to do it or how to use all of these techniques, then don't write about it. I'm so sorry, I'm being so harsh here, but I was really disappointed because that was the reason why I got into this book. Now, there is one chapter called Mental Palace, which talks a little bit about this technique. I don't know if you've watched Sherlock, the BBC TV show with Benedict Cumberbatch. I love that. I love that TV show. He goes into his mental palace whenever he needs information, and it's basically a huge palace in his mind, just like the word suggests, and he has it filled with information, so he can walk through this palace in his mind and recall things because he basically left them in a certain place. And this is basically a real technique that people use, and you can use it too. How, you may ask? Well, the author didn't go into details about it. In this chapter, he talks a bit about it, of the first time that he used it, but I think it was a little bit vague. He got some tips in there, but it was just that one chapter of the, I think, like 11 chapters of the whole book. Now, that is, I think, a really good way to do it if you're trying to remember things. Like, he uses the example of the supermarket list. So his grocery list, the things that he has to buy, or his friend has to buy. So he starts imagining like, oh, a roasted salmon. He goes into the suggestion is that you use a place that you're really aware of, that you really know very well, and that you start in the walkway and you start going through the house, and through there you place the things that you need to remember, and you place them with as much detail as possible, but also you can make things funny out of them, something that you will really recall, that you will really remember. Then it would help you. The only thing that you have to do is go back to the beginning, and then as you are walking through the house, you will see these items, and that's the way that you will recall the list. Now, that's all very well. I sort of already knew this, and I thought that he would give more like exercise, like if you want to improve your memory, what sort of things you should be doing every single day, because he does says that he has to be training every single day for an hour, and we don't see what he's doing. Also, it's well for things that make sense, like that list that I was talking about. But for example, what do you do when you have to recall numbers? Does he told us? Very vaguely, as well as with poems. Like these mental athletes in the competition also have to recall a poem in a very short amount of time, and he doesn't really explain how this is done. He goes again into the science of things, which is great if you're interested in that. But if you're really interested in learning the techniques, this book is not going to be for you. You're gonna end up really frustrated and angry the way that I was. So yeah, overall I think it's a good book to sort of give a little bit of a reflection of what it is that we're doing right now, that we're not using our brain capability to its fullest, and we're not really using it to memorize things that sometimes can come in handy for sure, because it is a beautiful thing that what they're doing, I think. But the fact that he doesn't give a lot of the techniques and a lot of the important details seems like he is being mean and just keeping it to himself. That's it there, I said it. Anyways, that's my review for Moonwalking with Einstein. If you are still interested in reading it, because you're interested in the history of memory and also the sciencey part of it, I would totally recommend to check it out. Yes, that will be it for this video. Make sure to thumbs up if you have read it. Let me know your comment in the comments down below what you think about it, as well as subscribing if you want more reviews of books. If you want something reviewed, definitely let me know in the comments as well. I would love to do more reviews like this. I think it is just so much fun to talk about books. Anyways, again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and you follow me over on my Goodreads page as well, because I really want to make more friends over there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye!